When people think about retirement, they often picture the day they hand in their badge, collect their farewell cake, and finally wake up the next morning with no alarm clock. The fantasy usually involves travel, hobbies, or just finally some peace and quiet. But here's the hard truth. Many people who feel ready to step into retirement simply aren't. And the danger isn't just about running out of money, it's about carrying hidden risk you haven't addressed yet. To make this real, let me introduce you to Lisa and Raj, a fictional couple, but very typical of what I've seen in my 3 decades as a financial advisor. Lisa is 60, Raj is 64. Between their 401ks and IRAs, they've saved about $1.8 million. And it feels like a lot. They've circled 2 years from now on their calendar as their retirement year. Now on paper, it looks promising. But when we dig into the details, they actually show us every one of the 5 signs I'm about to cover. Each week, I dive into real issues that families like yours face in planning for retirement and beyond. So, let's walk through these 5 signs using Lisa and Raj as our guides, and we'll see what the research tells us along the way. Sign 1, the cash flow mirage. Lisa and Raj came in with a spreadsheet. They'd assumed they're going to earn about 6% a year, inflation would stay about 2%, and they'd withdraw about 4% annually, or roughly $72,000 plus Social Security. On the surface, their model looked perfect. But when we stress tested the numbers, things began to unravel. We ran a scenario where the market fell 20% in the first 2 years, not far-fetched considering the bear markets of 2000, 2008, and even 2020. Suddenly, their 1.8 dropped closer to 1.4 million. If they kept withdrawing the same $72,000, their portfolio had little chance of recovery. By their mid-80s, they risked running dry. Now, this is a textbook example of sequence of return risk. The order of your returns matters more than the average return. William Bengen's famous 1994 study that was published in the Journal of Financial Planning is where the 4% rule came from. But even Bengen emphasized that market timing early in retirement can dramatically change outcomes. Morningstar's State of Retirement Income from 2023 report underscores this same point. Retirees withdrawing during the first 5 years of a bear market had significantly lower survival probabilities for their portfolios compared with those who experienced bull markets early on. So here's a litmus test for you. If your retirement spreadsheet only works under rosy assumptions, steady growth, low inflation, and no volatility, you're not ready to retire. A robust plan must bend without breaking. Sign 2, debt follows you into retirement. Now let's take a look at Lisa and Raj's liabilities. They carry a $400,000 mortgage plus about $50,000 in credit card and personal loan balances. While working, their combined income covered those payments. In retirement, though, these same obligations become a fixed drag on the budget. According to the Federal Reserve, about 38% of households headed by someone aged 65 to 74 still carry a mortgage, and 29% still carry some type of credit card debt. Now, it's not inherently catastrophic, but it reduces your flexibility. Picture this. Markets are down 15%, as they historically do every 3 to 4 years. Lisa and Raj's $3,000 monthly mortgage and $800 in credit card debt don't change. Their investment withdrawals need to rise just as their portfolio is shrinking. That's a really dangerous cycle. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has warned that older adults with higher debt-to-income ratios face a substantially greater risk of bankruptcy and foreclosure compared with those retirees that are debt-free. So, a second sign you're not ready to retire is if you're stepping into retirement with heavy debt. You're carrying more risk than you realize. Hey, if you're finding this helpful so far, please tap the like button. It helps more families like yours find this type of guidance. Sign 3, an income plan that's too rigid. Lisa and Raj assumed their retirement income would come from just 2 sources: Social Security and systematic withdrawals from their retirement accounts. That's it, no plan B. On the surface, it seems fine, but what happens if the markets underperform? Or if taxes increase? unexpected expenses arise, or healthcare costs continue to rise. With no flexibility, they'd be forced to sell assets in bad years. This only accelerates the depletion of their portfolio. Now contrast that with retirees who use kind of a bucket strategy. 1 to 2 years of expenses in cash, another 3 to 5 in bonds, and the rest in equities. Or retirees who build guardrails, plan to cut discretionary spending if the portfolio drops below a certain threshold. According to research from David Blanchett and Morningstar, retirees who adopted a dynamic spending rule, such as adjusting withdrawals up or down depending upon market conditions, had portfolios that lasted significantly longer than those who used fixed withdrawals. For Lisa and Raj, this rigidity is a red flag. A more resilient plan would include structured withdrawal sequences between taxable, tax-deferred, and Roth accounts for more efficiency. A commitment to trim spending if the portfolio dropped below a set level. Optional supplemental income. Lisa could consult part-time, Raj could teach, just as a buffer. Without that flexibility, their plan is brittle, and brittleness is the enemy of retirement readiness. Sign 4, overlooking health, longevity, and the risks associated with it. This is where Lisa and Raj's optimism really shows. They modeled their retirement until 85, assuming average health. But Raj's father had Alzheimer's, and Lisa has a thyroid condition that's already driving higher prescription costs. According to the Society of Actuaries, a healthy 65-year-old couple has about a 50% chance of one spouse living to 95. That's a 30-year retirement, not 20. As far as healthcare, Fidelity's retiree healthcare cost estimate from 2024 projected that the average 65-year-old couple retiring this year need over $315,000 just for medical expenses in today's dollars. That doesn't include long-term care. Genworth's 2023 cost of care survey found that a private room in a nursing home averages more than $100,000 per year. Ignoring these realities is risky. If Raj develops cognitive decline in his late 70s and needs extended care, their plan can simply unravel. If Lisa's medical expenses escalate faster than inflation, the budget strains. Retirement readiness requires running these scenarios, not brushing them aside. If your plan assumes we'll probably be average, you're not ready to retire. Sign 5, ignoring the non-financial transition. Finally, let's talk about the part that spreadsheets simply can't capture, the emotional side. Lisa loves her leadership role. Raj enjoys mentoring part-time. But when I asked them what their daily lives would look like after retirement, they had no clear answer. Lisa imagined traveling extensively. Raj wanted to garden and stay close to home. They hadn't reconciled their differences. Now, this isn't unusual. Research from the MIT Age Lab shows that retirement satisfaction often depends less on money and more on 3 things: social connection, purpose, and routine. Without these 3, even wealthy families can feel unmoored. Hey, I've seen couples overspend in the early years because they're trying to find themselves. Trips, projects, hobbies, all good things, but front-loading them can wreck a retirement plan. If Lisa and Raj spend $200,000 on travel and home upgrades in the first 5 years or so, that could shorten their portfolio's lifespan by nearly a decade. So, the 5th sign you're not ready to retire: if you haven't thought about your identity, your alignment with your spouse, and your daily structure, retirement can feel kind of hollow. Okay, let's wrap this up and put a bow on it for you. What makes Lisa and Raj's story so powerful is that they're not reckless. They've saved diligently, they've run some numbers, and they genuinely feel ready. But these 5 signs: fragile cash flow, lingering debt, a rigid income plan, naive about their health assumptions, and unexpected lifestyle risks, show otherwise. Here's the important part. These signs don't mean failure. They mean opportunity. An opportunity to stress test, to pay down debt, to diversify your income strategies, to plan for longevity and health, and have an honest conversation about what life after work is really going to look like. Retirement readiness isn't just about a number on a statement. It's about resilience, the ability for your plan to withstand surprises without collapsing. So, if your plan looks like Lisa and Raj's current draft, then now's the time to strengthen it. The earlier you confront these issues, the more options you'll have to correct course, and more likely you'll be able to enjoy the retirement you've been working so hard towards. Hey, if this helped you see retirement readiness just a little differently, hit subscribe. Each week, dive into real issues families like yours face in planning for retirement and beyond. And if you'd like to talk about your own situation, I've linked my AMA calendar in the description. I've also added a video that might be of interest to you too. Thanks for watching.